Things Fall Apart is the debut novel by Nigerian author Chinua Achebe. It was published in 1958 and depicts the pre-colonial life of the Igbo tribe located in modern-day Nigeria, and the arrival of European and Christian settlers in the late 19th century. It was one of the first pieces of literature to describe African tribal society from the perspectives of the tribesmen themselves, and today we will be examining the novel's themes and relation to historical context. The story opens with the protagonist, a man named Okonkwo. He's a sturdy man who evokes little emotion and rules his household with a fist. He is well known in his home village, Umofia, due to his riches and success. Okonkwo essentially does anything in his power to contrast his late father, who was a musician who drank, was described as lazy, and amounted to little in life. He also had a lot of debt to others in the village. Just to paint a picture to the type of man Okonkwo is, during the week of peace, he beat his youngest wife for leaving to braid her hair instead of cooking dinner. He also beat his second wife and fired a gun at her. One of Okonkwo's first mistakes comes in the form of his adopted son, Ikemefuna, who was placed under his household after he was given up as payment from a neighboring village. Ikemefuna is ordered to be killed as a sacrifice to the earth god. Okonkwo was advised not to participate in the killing, but instead deals the killing blow out of fear of looking weak. Later, the news breaks that the oracle that had warned Okonkwo about partaking in the sacrifice had died. The village held a funeral where men beat drums and fired their guns. Okonkwo's gun malfunctions, killing the oracle's son. The killing is decreed as a crime against the earth god, and as a result, Okonkwo and his family are banished to Mbata for 7 years. Okonkwo and his family are well received by the village, and Okonkwo's friend, Oberika, visits him during his second year of exile. Oberika describes the arrival of the white man on an iron horse and the subsequent destruction of the Abame village. The settlers request land to build a church and are granted that land, and the church begins to gain in popularity. Even Nwoye, Okonkwo's son, attends some of the masses. Okonkwo accepts that brutal fact, acknowledging his son as weak. He states, "Living fire begets cold, impotent ash," to describe the relationship. Soon after, the settlers began prominence in the region, establishing a government and judicial system headed by a district commissioner. An Igbo convert does the crime of unmasking one of the elders, prompting them to retaliate by destroying his compound and the church. As a consequence, the district commissioner jailed the elders, including Okonkwo, and once released, Okonkwo held a clan meeting, vowing to get revenge and take down the European system. The meeting is soon stormed by some settlers, and Okonkwo beheads a court messenger, while the other Igbo people do nothing. Okonkwo realizes he has lost and promptly hangs himself, with the district commissioner finding his body. The commissioner considers putting Okonkwo's story in a book titled The Pacification of the Primitive Tribes of the Lower Nile. There are many themes present in Things Fall Apart, with the most prominent ones being resistance to change and culture. The title, Things Fall Apart, in itself is powerful, pointing toward the Igbo society falling apart as a result of internal and external factors. The invading European settlers believe they are bringing their culture and religion to primitive people that are in need of salvation, but Achebe presents an African society that is cultural and economically flourishing and has a great deal of order and unity. Basically, just saying that, hey, these people are civil and not animals. It shows just how Achebe and subsequently many other Africans felt about the arrival of settlers and their culture, and just how much they despised them. And this is also considering the fact that Achebe wasn't even around when the first settlers came, since that would have been decades prior, so this is a very strong distaste. Okonkwo and his son Nwoye very clearly represent the resistance to change and change itself respectively. Okonkwo is one that does not want anything to ever change, as he holds his masculinity and status in Igbo society very highly. He doesn't want to lose that out of fear of becoming like his father. Nwoye, on the other hand, is open to new ideas and isn't fond of practices like sacrificing the innocent. Nwoye represents the shifting culture because culture is ever-changing. There is also a strong theme of betrayal present in the novel. Okonkwo feels betrayed by his wives for not birthing him a strong son, and also feels betrayed by Nwoye for being weak and not following his path. Ultimately, it's the betrayal of his entire culture because they didn't resist with him that prompts him to end his own life. Well, that's it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.